Anena Dinana Manukampaya Maitra Chaivatma Tulyeshu Yamane Niyamena Cha Mahatmam Bahumanena Dinana Manukampaya Maitra Chaivatma Tulyeshu Yamane Niyamena Cha Mahatam Bahumanena Dinana Manukampaya Maitra Chaivatmyatulyeshu Yamane Niyamena Cha. Anyone would like to chant the verse, please? Okay. So we'll read the synonyms, translation, and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Mahatam to the great souls. Bahumanena with great respect. Dinanam to the pure. Anukampaya with compassion. Maitreya with friendship. Cha also. Eva certainly. Atmatulyeshu to persons who are equals. Yamena with control of the senses. Niyamena with regulation. Cha and translation. The pure devotee should execute devotional service by giving the greatest respect to the spiritual master and the acharyas. He should be compassionate to the poor and make friendship with persons who are his equals. But all his activities should be executed under regulation and with control of the senses. In Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, it is clearly stated that one should execute devotional service in advance on the path of spiritual knowledge by accepting the acharyas. Acharya upasanam, one should worship an acharya, a spiritual master who knows things as they are. The spiritual master must be in the disciplic succession from Krishna. The predecessors of the spiritual master are his spiritual master, his grand spiritual master, his great grand spiritual master, and so on, who form the disciplic succession of acharyas. It is recommended herewith that all the acharyas be given the highest respect. It is stated, Gurusho Naramati. Gurushu means unto the acharyas, and Naramati means thinking like a common man. To think of the Vaishnavas, the devotees, as belonging to a particular caste or community, or to think of the acharyas as ordinary men, or to think of the deity in the temple as being made of stone, wood, or metal, is condemned. Niyamena, one should offer the greatest respect to the acharyas according to the standard regulations. A devotee should be compassionate to the poor. This does not refer to those who are poverty-stricken materially. According to devotional vision, a man is poor if he is not in Krishna consciousness. A man may be very rich materially, but if he is not Krishna conscious, he is considered poor. On the other hand, many acharyas such as Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami used to live in the trees every night. Superficially, it appeared that they were poverty-stricken, but from their writing, we can understand that in the spiritual life they were richest personalities. A devotee shows compassion to those poor souls who are wanting in spiritual knowledge by enlightening them in order to elevate them to Krishna consciousness. This is one of the duties of the devotee. He should also make friendship with persons who are on equal level with himself and have the same understanding that he does. For a devotee, there's no point in making friendship with ordinary persons. He should make friendship with other devotees so that, by discussing among themselves, they may elevate one another on the path of spiritual understanding. This is called, Ishtagoshti. In Bhagavad Gita, there is a reference to Bodh and Nath, Parasparam, discussing among themselves. Generally, Devotees utilize their valuable time in chanting and discussing various activities of Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya amongst themselves. There are innumerable books such as the Puranas, Mahabharata, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and Upanishads, which contain countless subjects for discussion among two devotees or more. Friendship should be cemented between persons with mutual interests and understanding. Such persons are said to be Svajati, of the same caste. The devotee should avoid a person whose character is not fixed in the standard understanding. Even though he may be a Vaishnava or a devotee of Krishna, if his character is not correctly representative, then he should be avoided. One should steadily control the senses and the mind and strictly follow the rules and regulations. And he should make friendship with persons of the same standard. Hare Krishna. We'll say a short Mangala prayer. It's already 6:45. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All praise to Srila Prabhupada. The pure devotee should execute devotional service by giving greatest respect to the spiritual master and the acharyas. He should be compassionate to the poor and make friendship with persons who are his equals, but his activities should be executed under regulation and with control of the senses. Very nice verse, and the purport, what Prabhupada has explained, um, is telling us how to put Krishna consciousness into practice. Of course, we are attending Bhagavatam class in the morning, in the evening, Krishna Katha currently, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Sunday morning classes, Saturday morning classes, then our individual practices of listening to Guru Maharaj or so many Vaishnavas, lectures, so many things we are doing, correct? All acts of devotional service, deity service at home, deity service in the temple, there are so many acts of devotional services that many in this group, or almost all in this group, are engaged in. So Prabhupada puts into perspective, and it's very important that we always be firmly rooted in the basic. Our understanding should be very clear, not hazy. And that is because when we know, what is the basic, then we are sure that we will not stray here and there. So what here it says is the first thing we should understand who is an acharya. An achar is behavior. And there is something called prachar. Prachar is what you speak, what you discuss, what you share, what you preach. That is prachar. Now, in English, there's a very famous saying, you may be knowing this, practice what you preach. Practice what you preach. Why? Why you need to practice what you preach? There are so many great orators. They could just read something and they will just win over the mind. Just win over the mind. But there's also another saying in English, actions speak louder than words. We may be great orators. Krishna has given the gift to somebody that they can speak very nicely, they can convince very nicely, but all that remains just at an intellectual level, just up here. However, when somebody does something, and when especially somebody does something for you, correct? Such a thing goes straight down into the heart. It goes and leaves a deep impression in the recipient's consciousness. And this is who an acharya is. Acharya is not only someone who speaks Krishna Katha, but he's actually living the Krishna Katha. So, an Acharya, we hear that, there is the book Bhagavata. Yeah, the book, no different than Krishna. Similarly, there is a person Bhagavata. Who is this person Bhagavata? Is the Acharya. Who is an Acharya? An Acharya who lives by the principles of whatever is he has heard from his teacher, from his teacher, from his teacher. So, what is the qualification of an acharya? One, foremost, is he's in the disciplic succession. What does disciplic succession mean? Is that to make a great teacher, you have to be a great disciple. Such knowledge doesn't come by going in the jungle and sitting in meditation and suddenly, whoop, everything comes to you. You have to follow in the footsteps of the previous acharya, following in the footsteps of the previous acharya. And what does it mean? Following in the footsteps? Following in the footsteps is simply whatever they have said, you know, follow it. Doesn't mean blindly follow. Prabhupada has restricted that. In fact, he has cautioned that, you know, don't surrender your intelligence, surrender with intelligence, correct? So, what it means is to follow in the footsteps of an acharya. You may have questions, you may have doubts. Please raise that. Again, to quote Prabhupada, questions are a symptom of intelligence. Do not just like, bull, it shakes its head. Yes, yes, yes to everything. Ask questions. When we ask questions, things get clarified. The basic, simple. It's really very simple, but our mind complicates things. So here is it coming back to who an acharya is. So just as when the spiritual master sees the credential of a disciple in the ISKCON Samstha and the ISKCON movement, there is a very formal procedure. There is what is called the IDC, ISKCON Disciplic Course. Course. Why is it necessary? The disciple should know who a guru is. It's not just, oh, okay, okay, this person is good looking, or okay, okay, whatever he says resonates with me. This is what I'm going. No, there is much more deeper. This connection is eternal. The guru and the disciple is eternal. He's your spiritual father, a biological father and mother in a certain time period. That relation will go away. All our relations will go away. Whatever we have, these are bodily relation. But a spiritual master and the disciple is a function of the soul. So we have to use the intelligence very, very, very carefully as to who is the spiritual master. So this IDC, goes through the entire about who a spiritual master is, how you go about uh, selecting a spiritual master. Similarly, the spiritual master, of course, they're extremely compassionate. They are in the line of Mahaprabhu, who, without any qualification, anything, just distributed love of Godhead to everybody, everybody. No if, and buts, whoever you are, Jagai Madhai, or you could be the greatest Brahmana. Here, take it. Then the question is, why do we have to do IDC? Why do we have to do qualify to get the mercy, things like that? So Romapad Maharaj gave a nice thing. He says the mercy of Krishna, of course, the Acharya is the mercy representative of Krishna. Similarly, the Murti who is in our temple, is not wood or metal. It is Swayam Bhagwan itself. It is Krishna who has come so that he can accept the service and the love that his devotees want to render to give him. That is what it. So similarly, the Guru is the mercy representative of Krishna. Now, this mercy is like sunshine. It is everywhere. And we, because of our conditioning, are in the dark, deep basement. We are sitting in the basement. Basement is completely shut, no windows, nothing, fully dark. And in this dark, since lifetimes, we have been banging into each other, stubbing our toes, friction, this, that, and all. And we are so used to it, we think it is a normal state. But when there is someone who comes and tells us something, some devotee, we hear something, then what happens is the effort that we make to climb the steps and come out in the sunshine. So sunshine doesn't discriminate. You're a Brahmana, you're a Chandala, you're a whoever you may be, doesn't matter. Sunshine is there for everybody. Correct? So it is the effort, and this is the Guru who holds our hand. And like how if you take a torch, the light of knowledge, you shine it, and step by step, he's holding our hand and taking us up. And that is following in the footsteps. We are not here sitting to argue with Guru. No, no, no. Don't take one step at a time. You know what we should do? We should take three steps because I'm very tall and I can take big strides. No, whatever the Guru says, wait here, you wait here. The Guru says, hurry up, you hurry up. This is what it is, obedience to the instructions of the spiritual master. That is the sure short way you don't come stumbling down the stairs. That is who an acharya, and that is what the function of an acharya is. Hare Krishna. Now, you know, our mind, when we think of people, we always think of us in the center. And if someone, and we have made all these pigeonholes, okay, good, bad, will do, indifferent, hate, love, whatever, whatever, whatever. And it all comes into what is in it for me. What is in it for me? Because they're all self centered, sense gratification, selfish attitude. Everyone has it if you're honest about it. You know, whether we accept it or no doesn't matter. That is what the fact is. And different degrees. Some of them are extremely selfish and self-centered, and some not so much. So what happens is in this thinking, the thinking um, how we are discriminating, how we are judging people, correct? We may think that, oh, Guru, he is from this particular community, or sometimes even worse, a guru is just like you and me because he looks like you and me, right? And we try to minimize that position. It is exactly like how you minimize Krishna. The deity, you look at the deity and you say, this deity is just actually metal. What do you mean? It is God himself. Can the deity move? Okay. Because that understanding is not there. So we commit these aparadh. So the Acharya, not just the Acharya, the Vaishnava. Vaishnava is also an Acharya. Why is a Vaishnava Acharya? Because today all of us have received this gift, this mercy we have received from the Parampara. And so many Vaishnavas, today we are in this position wherever we are at, advanced, new, neophyte, whatever it be, is because someone took interest in us and someone gave us something without expecting anything in return. I was surprised to know there are so many institutions which charge a fee, 10% of your salary compulsory. Compulsory. It is compulsion. Spiritual institutions, whatever it is. Has Prabhupada charged anyone a single penny? Is any one of us who's a congregation member of ICNJ or any ISKCON worldwide, does anyone have any compulsion to give 1%, 10%, 20%? Everything is voluntary. If you can afford $10,000 a month, happily it will be accepted. If you can't give anything, happily it is accepted. Even if you can't serve, most welcome. No one is going to judge you. No one is going to give you preferential treatment or uh, just keep you at the side. You're of no value. You're not contributing either in service or in money. That is mercy. Now, when we've received this, how do we express gratitude? Otherwise, we're just selfish creatures. That gratitude is Mahaprabhu's instructions, Yare dekho tare kaho, Krishna Upadesh. It becomes incumbent on all of us, if we have some decency in us, to engage in distributing the same gift that we've got, is to distribute. And the beauty is when you distribute it, it multiplies. It multiplies. Hare Krishna. I got an indication that, we have another 5 minutes to go. So, Prabhu's, Mataji's, there are so many opportunities. We all feel a little, oh, how can I speak? How would I say something? Uh, no, Krishna consciousness is whatever you heard, simply repeat that. You can never go wrong. Don't put your own concoction. Yes, you can use examples, you can use analogies which draws out the point, but that point should be the essence. It should not be something new. If there is something para dukha dukhi, we should understand what para dukha dukhi means. There is para dukha dukhi is someone who's very compassionate. There can be compassion for the body, there can be compassion for the mind, and most important is compassion for the soul. So we should have this understanding very clear. And whatever we do it on basis of the soul. Whatever we're speaking is for the soul. Body and mind is a byproduct result. It's automatically taken care of. You water the root, branches, everything get taken care of. Correct, Prabhu's Matajis? That is what. So we, as the people who are sadhakas, if we want to improve our sadhana, if we are serious about what we are doing, then engage in reaching out to people. And reaching out even you don't need to be a scholar. It will help. But more important than scholar is our achar. Our prachar is, necessary, but our behavior, how we respond to people. Newcomers come in the temple and we form little groups. We are friendly. Of course, it's nice to have Vaishnava association. Perfect. But a newcomer has come is not an ordinary person. He is Krishna's guest and we are dasanudas. Just go and meet the person. Hare Krishna. Is there anything you would like to know? Is there anything you know we can serve you with? What an impact it makes. Otherwise, it's just like a commercial establishment, a spiritual club. People have come, they see, theek hai, and chale gaya. So this can also be an outreach. There are so many ways. Book distribution. Take little bit time off and go for that book distribution. So that's what, and of course, there are these rules, regulations we do. That is, it may seem to be like an imposition, but it's actually to discipline the mind, because when the mind is disciplined, that's when these transcendental topics can actually have an effect. Otherwise, the mind is jumping like a monkey from this to that, some glittering object of sense gratification. So that's where the discipline is required. Hare Krishna. So Prabhu's Mataji's, it is 7 o'clock. I made a small attempt of filling in. Madhupati Prabhu, over to you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Amrita Prabhu.
Hare
We'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. And we'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Ram
Rama.
Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Nrsimha Jai, Nrsimha Jai, Nrsimha Pralade, Jaya Praham Kapalam, Graveedam Mahavishwam,
Mahavishvantam Sarvatam Mukam Darshunam Bhishtam
Nrsimha Bhagwan ki Jai, Prahlad Maharaj,
Jai.
Jai.
for our humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas. Vancha
Vanchakalpatarubhyah
kalpatarubhyascha
Sindhu Eva
Tikanam Pavane
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah.
Ki Jai,
Jai
Grantha
Govind Ki Jai.
Jai,
Jai.
Purpyamanande, Hari
Hari
Hare
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you, Amritam.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare Bol, everybody.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.